What can you buy with $1? A candy bar, a soda, pocket change, right? Now imagine that single crumpled dollar found in a gutter becoming the seed of $1 million empire. This is the story of Ethan Caldwell, a kid from a dying Ohio town who turned $1 into a legacy. From poverty's grip to a business spanning 20 states, Ethan's journey proves one truth. In America, you can rise from nothing if you dream big and keep pushing. Ready to see how? Stay with me. This is the ride of a lifetime. Mill Haven, Ohio, 1995. A town where dreams went to die. The steel mill shut down, leaving empty streets and broken spirits. Ethan Caldwell, 12 years old, lived in a rusty trailer with his parents. His dad, a laid-off steelworker, drowned his anger in cheap whiskey. His mom cleaned houses, her hands raw from bleach, barely keeping the lights on. Ethan wore hand-me-downs, the kind that got you laughed at in school. Kids called him trailer trash, and their words stung like gravel. Nights were worse. Lying in his corner of the trailer, Ethan heard his parents' fights through thin walls, their voices cracking over unpaid bills. Hope felt like a stranger in Mill Haven. Ethan felt trapped, invisible, like the world had already decided he'd amount to nothing. But one summer day, everything changed. Kicking pebbles outside the local diner, Ethan spotted a crumpled dollar bill in the gutter, half buried in grime. He picked it up, heart racing. It wasn't just money, it was a spark. "This is my start," he whispered, clutching it. That dollar became his lifeline, a promise to himself. He'd make something out of nothing. Life didn't make it easy. Ethan started mowing lawns at 13, dragging a rusty mower across Mill Haven for $5 a job. Doors slammed in his face, 50 rejections before his first gig. His dad mocked him. "You're just a kid playing at work." Classmates sneered, their jealousy sharp as they saw Ethan's hustle. Then came the flea market. At 16, Ethan saw a chance. Teenagers swarmed the market, buying cheap trinkets, keychains, stickers, glow bracelets. The vendors, mostly old-timers, didn't get it. Ethan did. He spent $50 of his hard-earned savings on a bulk order of slap bracelets, the kind every kid wanted. He set up a card table, taped that dollar bill to it as a gimmick, and waited. The first weekend was a disaster. Rain poured, soaking his stock. He lost everything, sitting drenched and defeated, wondering if his dad was right. "Why am I even trying?" he muttered, tears mixing with rain. But Ethan wasn't built to quit. He scraped together $20, bought more bracelets, and tried again. The next weekend, he sold out, pocketing $150. That taste of victory was electric, but bigger tests loomed. His dad, in a drunken rage, burned Ethan's savings, $200 gone in a night. The betrayal cut deep. Ethan cried alone in his dad's old pickup, but that dollar in his pocket reminded him, "Keep pushing, you're not done." Ethan's hustle grew. By 17, his flea market stall was a local legend, drawing crowds from nearby towns. He worked 18-hour days, studied trends, read business books from the library, and saved every penny. He'd failed 3 times, bad inventory, slow weekends, but each flop taught him something. One sale at a time, he told himself, hauling boxes at 4 a.m. He saved $10,000 by graduation, a fortune for a Mill Haven kid. Most of his classmates were headed for dead-end jobs, but Ethan wanted more. He wanted out. In 2001, he made a choice that shook his family. He packed his beat-up Chevy and moved to Columbus, Ohio, with nothing but his savings and that dollar. His mom cried, begging him to stay safe. His dad scoffed, "You'll be back, broke." Ethan didn't look back. Columbus was a different world, fast, loud, intimidating. He rented a tiny storefront in a rough neighborhood, calling it Dollar Dreams, a nod to that crumpled bill. The first year was brutal. Rent devoured his profits. Customers were scarce. Shoplifters hit hard. Ethan slept on a cot in the back, eating ramen to save cash. Then came the flood. A burst pipe ruined half his inventory, $5,000 in clothes reduced to soggy trash. Standing in ankle-deep water, Ethan felt failure's weight. "I'm done," he thought, staring at the mess. That dollar, still in his wallet, stopped him. "You survived the gutter," he told himself. "You'll survive this." That flood was Ethan's turning point. He didn't quit. He cleaned the store, mopping until his hands blistered. He negotiated with suppliers, begging for new stock on credit. He changed his mindset. This isn't failure, it's a lesson. Ethan took to the streets, handing out flyers at Ohio State University games, bars, anywhere college kids hung out. He taped that dollar to his counter, telling customers, "This is where I started." Word spread. Dollar Dreams became a hit. It's affordable, trendy vibe drawing crowds. By 2003, Ethan broke even. By 2004, he was profitable. He hired local kids, giving them the chance he'd fought for. "Keep pushing," he'd tell them, remembering his own battles. That single decision to fight through the flood unlocked everything. Ethan wasn't just surviving anymore, he was building something. The years that followed were a rocket ride. Ethan opened a second store, then a third. By 2010, Dollar Dreams had 10 locations across Ohio, pulling in $5 million a year. He went online, building a website that exploded nationwide. By 2015, Ethan was a millionaire, his face on business magazines, his story whispered in Millhaven as proof their town could birth a star. But it wasn't smooth. The 2018 recession hit hard, forcing Ethan to close 3 stores. A lawsuit from a former partner threatened to tank everything. Each time, Ethan leaned on that dollar's lesson. You don't stop. He innovated new designs, better marketing, and came out stronger. Today, Dollar Dreams spans 20 states, with a digital platform rivaling retail giants. Ethan's net worth, over $50 million. But the real win wasn't the money. It was the freedom, the pride, the chance to look back at Millhaven and say, "I made it." Ethan never forgot his roots. He started a $1 million scholarship fund for Millhaven kids, paying for college for those with dreams but no means. He spoke at high schools, holding up that framed dollar, saying, "Dream big, start small, keep going." What can we learn from Ethan? First, start with what you have, no matter how small. $1, one idea, one chance. Second, failure isn't the end, it's your teacher. Ethan failed 20 times, from rainy markets to flooded stores, but each taught him to be better. Third, give back. Ethan's scholarships didn't just change lives, they built a legacy. You don't need millions to start. Find your dollar, your spark, and take one step today. In America, that's enough. Ethan's story isn't just his, it's ours. It's the kid in a small town, the immigrant chasing a new life, the underdog who won't quit. You can start today, right now. So, what's your dollar? What's the one thing you're holding on to, ready to turn into something extraordinary? Comment day 1 below if today's your start. Share your story, your struggles, your dreams. Subscribe for more stories of the American dream, tales of grit and triumph that remind us what's possible. Ethan Caldwell took $1 and built an empire. He kept pushing, even when the world said no. You can too. From a gutter in Ohio to a legacy that inspires millions, $1, one dream, one unstoppable journey. What's yours?